where I'll actually be able to put some cool, sweet performance parts on this thing. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're gonna continue cleaning up the 5.3 short block. It's just still got a lot of crust and grease on it, and I want to get all that off of it so I can start getting it looking good. Throw a coat of black paint on it. Same with the pulley, probably paint that up and just use it, and just get it ready for the reconditioned heads and the camshaft kit that I got coming. And I've got some other parts like a new oil pan I can put on it. So basically in this video, I'm just gonna finish getting it cleaned up and making it look good, so I don't have to look at that nasty grease and oil anymore. So let's get into it. So you guys can see how nasty the engine was. Top of the pistons, how caked and old fuel and oil and everything else on this block. It was nasty. I'm sure this thing probably had bad O2 sensors for a while and was running crazy rich for it to be that caked. But they clean up well, as you can see from this side. Looks nice and clean. Spin it over for you. You can see the cylinders all look good. Pistons are clean. This thing turns over really easily and nice. These pistons are crazy flat top pistons. And there's no ridge, dish, or anything. They're right there at the top. See the original part numbers casted on them. So that's why I wanted to keep the 862 cylinder heads, because they have a 61cc chamber. These are flat top pistons. That new camshaft, this thing should run pretty good. So we're just going to continue cleaning this side, get all these pistons cleaned up and the cylinders, get all that old carbon buildup and fuel off of them, and just trying to get it ready for paint. Just using a little bit of paint thinner to clean all this carbon off. Comes off super easy with it. You guys are wondering what I was using. It melts that old carbon right off without too much abrasion. Some of that stuff's just baked on though, and you gotta use a little bit of using a little bit of green Scotch-Brite to get the rest of that off. This one's super gunky. Look at that up close. It's nasty. See the difference in cleaning them up. Yeah, that made a huge difference on these cylinders and pistons. Cleaned them right up. Definitely makes me feel better about slapping this thing back together. So one less ugly thing to look at on here. All right, so we got the deck cleaned up. As you can see, we got all that old head gasket material off the surface. Pistons cleaned up, cylinders cleaned up a little. Both sides, so that should be good enough for putting head gaskets and heads back on. And I guess now we're just gonna button it up and get it ready for paint. So I'm gonna put the oil pan back on it and I guess the cylinder heads on it, just 'cause that'll keep the paint off the head surface. And I guess just mock it up the way it would be and then paint the block. And that will definitely help make this thing look a lot cleaner. All right, there it is. Mocked up and ready for paint. Oil pan's on. New Trailblazer SS intake. And everything is degreased and ready to paint the block. Really shouldn't take much. There isn't much block showing. A little bit of black paint. So that's what we're gonna go on to next. this all painted up, looking pretty. I got the block all blacked out. You can see no more nasty grease. Scale came out nice. Got the block all cleaned up. The heads are ready to go to the machine shop tomorrow. And got the new intake manifold on it this week. And it's starting to look like something now. It doesn't look like such a junkyard dog anymore. Painted the truck pulley. But you guys can see it turned out pretty good. Got the new oil pan on, which I'm confident will fit the chassis. It's about 2 inches shorter than the truck pan, so I think this one will be all right. But wow, what a difference. Degreased, painted, all cleaned up, ready for gaskets, ready for the new camshaft. Just got to pull the pulley off, get the cam installed, new lifters, ordering new rocker arms for it soon. So I'm going to be getting all the valve train for it. Probably this week I'll pull the trigger. It was hard to try to decide on what camshaft I wanted to use. There's so many out there, I'm sure you guys know that. I want to thank all you guys that chimed in and let me know what cam you were using. So it definitely helped me decide on which one I wanted to go with. But I'll let you guys know that on the next video, where I'll actually be able to put some cool, sweet performance parts on this thing and start buttoning it up. So I'm super happy with the outcome and how it looks. Like I said, this is gonna definitely be a budget build, and you know, the Trailblazer SS intake, camshaft, springs, you know, I'm just looking for a little over 400 horsepower out of this thing, which I'm sure it will have based on other builds that I've followed. So you guys leave me some comments down below. Make sure that you subscribe to follow this build. This engine's going into the 49 Chevy that's over there, and it should be a pretty sweet ride. So I will see you guys on the next video. Later.